In this video, I'll be sharing with you a requested tutorial from my group on how to cut this stylish Basque Bustier dress. And this dress is from Phobie's Corner. So to start, here is my pattern which I've gone ahead to mark out my basic measurement, which is the shoulder to bust, under bust, waist and blouse length. Next, I'll mark my shoulder divided by 2 and mark. Come down by 1 inch at that point, and I'll go ahead to place my straight ruler to connect. After that, I'm going to find my chest line, which is my bust circumference divided by 6. I'll rule out a straight line at that point, then mark back what I have at the shoulder. After that, I'll place my shoulder and I'll go ahead to draw out a straight line at this point. I'll fold what I have at the shoulder into 2, and I'll be coming in by ½ inch. After this, I'll go down and mark my bust circumference divided by 4. After I'm done marking this, I'm going to place my curve drill, connect from there to the ½ inch and to the upper part. Next, I'll start by marking my dart intake, which is your nipple to nipple divided by 2. My nipple to nipple is 7 inches divided by 2. I have 3.5 inches. Now, I'll go ahead and mark this all the way from the upper part of my pattern to the lower part of my pattern, connecting the dots or line. So after I'm done marking this, I'll go ahead to mark my dart intake of 1 inch on both sides. So now, if you're a plus size or a little busty, you're going to be using 1 inch on this side of your pattern, on each side. And after that, go ahead to draw out a straight line. Using the other side of my pattern also, and I'll mark. After I'm done marking this, I'll place my curve drill, connect from the bust down to the under bust. And I'll also go ahead to repeat this at the other side. After I'm done marking this, I'll go in with my marker and I'm going to outline. So after I'm done marking this out now, I'll go up by 1.5 inches here. This is where I want my bustier to start. So if you're a bit busty or you don't want to reveal your cleavage, go ahead to use 2 inches. I marked back my nipple to nipple and I connected. Now I'll be marking my dart intake of 1 inch on both sides and I'll go ahead to connect. After connecting, I'll go ahead to connect at the other side. So after I'm done connecting at this point now, the next step I'm going to take is to start inserting my measurement. I'll mark my bust circumference divided by 4. Measure this dart intake I have here and I'm going to replace it at the other side and go ahead to mark my sewing allowance. After that, I'll mark my under bust circumference divided by 4 and I'll mark. My under bust is 28 divided by 4, I have 7. Measure 2 inches dart intake, replace and add my sewing allowance. Here, I'm going to be snatching out 2 inches from my waist. My waist is 28 minus 2 will give me 26. 26 divided by 4 will give me 6.5. I marked it. Measured the 2 inches dart intake, replaced and added my sewing allowance. After marking that, I'll come down by 1 inch at this point and go ahead to connect my pattern. Now, after I'm done connecting, I'll go ahead to use my marker to outline this. Now, I'll draw out a slight sweetheart neckline. I'll just go in by 1 inch from that point and then connect to the upper part of my pattern. So after connecting, at the side, most times when I'm drawing out my dress, I like going up by ½ inch. So to draw out the basque, blend in your pattern this way. Make sure your lines are meeting and you will connect. So I'll just go ahead to outline this because I was supposed to do that later. So for this particular pattern, I did not make use of a bust dart. I made it in form of a simple basque top. So if you want to mark your bust dart, all you have to do is to measure your shoulder to waist in front to your shoulder to waist at the back. So take out what you have from your shoulder to waist at the back, from your shoulder to waist in front, and mark. And also add a sleeve, a small strap to this part of your pattern, because you're going to be adding like a little flare sleeve at the upper part of your sleeve. That is the spaghetti strap that you're cutting out. So I'll also be illustrating how to cut that out. So this is what I have. And now going over to the lower part, I marked out all my basic measurements. I'll just go ahead and I'll outline it. So the next step I'll take now is to go ahead and insert my measurement, and I'm cutting out this pattern as a dartless pattern for the back. I'll mark my bust circumference divided by 4, and I'll go ahead to mark my waist circumference divided by 4 and add ½ inch. That is the exact waist measurement you used for the front pattern. So just like I said at the front, you can come up by ½ inch or you can leave it at your chest line. Now I came down by ½ inch at the front part of the lacing of this blouse. I made it in form of a blouse with a lacing. So I went in by 2 inches and I'll be marking this all the way down. So I'll go ahead and place my ruler and connect, and after that I'll just out. The next step is just to indicate that we have a lacing at that part. So after this, I'll just go ahead to cut it out and we move over to the sleeve of the dress. So for this part of the dress, we are going to be cutting it for the sleeve into 360 flay. So if you notice, I folded my pattern into 4. That is the first folding and then the second folding, giving me 4. So whatever your sleeve is, so whatever your chest line is, you're going to go ahead to multiply it like 4 times. Let's say to get your chest line is your shoulder to bust divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. Mine is 7 inches. So go ahead to times it like 2 times, giving me 14. But if you want to create a pleating on it, you can times it like 3 times of what you have at that point. So let's say what I have is 16 inches. So that 16 inches, you're going to divide it by 4. So 16 dividing 4, you will get 4 inches. Place it on your pattern paper and draw a rough curve. That is exactly 4 inches. Now after that, place your tape at one side of the triangle and then take that measurement round. Now after taking it round, you're going to recorrect or redraw your line. Now place back your tape on that new circle that you drew out and make sure that it is that 4 inches you have there. So after that, you're now going to decide on the size of the ruffle or flay you want. If you want, you can use 5 inches, 6 inches. So when you're cutting this out, you also need to add the folding allowance or joining allowance to the dress. And after that, you're going to go ahead to cut it out. So after you're done cutting it out, you notice that what you have is a perfect circle. Then you now go ahead to cut it open. And after cutting it open, you have to trim one side, the side going to the front and also the side going to the back side, before attaching it to your sleeve or strap.